Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the next lecture session. This is our third lecture session on Internet of Things. Today, two main topics to cover. First of all, I'm going to look at where we just started the other night, I think it was. I finished off, well, I just started networks on the operating systems part, maybe got about 3 or 4 slides into it. So I'm going to do that for the first part. The other thing that's likely to be of interest to you is I'll talk about the assessment for this, which I've already made available on the web page for the module, and I've emailed a link out to that for the discussion group that you've got set up for this module. So I won't talk about that immediately. I'll spend quite some time talking about it later on when we've got over the first part. Then I'll also have another session next week when you've had a chance to look at the assessment in a bit more detail yourself, and you've probably got a few questions. You can put some of those questions over the discussion area that we've got set up, and I'll raise them in class then if I think they're of importance to everyone for it. But the link's up there already. This assessment work, July 2017, and there'll be 2 questions on it, one of which will relate to some conference papers which you'll need to download and choose one from. As I say, I won't talk about it too much more right now. Definitely in about an hour and a quarter or so after we've had our break, I'll talk about it then. Tonight I just want to now I want to carry on with the just a straightforward lecture notes for it, and as I say, we're up to lecture 4 in the set of notes. If you downloaded the electronic copies of these, it's lecture 4 on networking system software. Just before starting that though, I was looking about, I always just sort of browse internet news and technology news, and you'll have seen how I was demonstrating the Amazon Echo. There's rival what this Amazon, although I use the Amazon Echo as a demonstration, there's many of them about. And there are ones specific to China, specific to local markets. Not all of them have as many facilities, not all of them as many extras with it. For example, Alibaba have got their smart speaker one. Just a quick search for Alibaba and speaker or voice control speaker, Genie, I think it's called. It works up to about 5 meters away for speech. You can see looks pretty similar to the Echo. Set it out. Might as well plug it in while I'm here. Looks very similar to that. Sold for the domestic market and currently only understands Mandarin Chinese. So it's probably not something that I'd be taking back unless it gets as far as about the only thing I'd be able to say is hello and thank you to it. But yes, there are these sort of things out there already. What I don't think there will be is the development kits for it, to be able to write your own software. So I just need to quickly get my thing connected. Turn on the hotspot to go through. There's that one which was earlier in the year. That was announced at the one of the technology fairs for it. Baidu have done one with a screen attached to work with. So again, sort of voice control, but also touch on the screen to work with. So it's not that these voice assistants are just confined to one manufacturer, but they are getting wider, and they're not just on the phone. Yes, they've been on your phone for 2-3 years, voice control on it. But with voice control on the phone...
It looks like your Wi-Fi network isn't connected to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Thank you. The phone connected ones, you have to sort of talk into them yourselves, and it only works over a short distance because of the microphone in the actual phone. It's a personal one, whereas these are more wide open. They're for use in an open room for it. And the thing is, it does come in some cases with a development kit that enables you to not just do what the manufacturer wants you to do. I mean, for example, the Alibaba one is only really for shopping. They do allow you voice input, but all they do is control the Alibaba app for it. So it's just another way of getting into their buy from us type thing. It doesn't link in to other devices. So it's not going to control your lights, your sound system at home. You're not going to be able to write your own apps for it. It will come. They will do it, because if they don't do it, somebody else will, and they'll lose that sort of share of the market. We have the same thing over in Europe and America. We tend to use more the Amazon Echo. Google have released theirs. Apple have got a version out. They're all going to be competing. I think at the moment the Amazon one has got further into it. They've been out for longer. They've got a better development kit available. But whether or not they remain the leader on that side of the world is another question. But I'll bring this in when I talk about the assessment as well later on, because it's just another example of a node and how it communicates. But that's just, as I say, what's going on with other things. So, back on to the sort of more formal lecture part of this. Talking tonight about how to link together nodes, how to get them talking together, what type of networks you've got, how to get information from one node to another node to the hub and out over the internet. That's sort of idea. So I'll be putting quite a few diagrams up to work with. But I sort of started on this at the end, just as a quick bit of revision. How the network module works, how the routing technologies work, how you get a message from one side of the network to the other, and you're looking at the performance. So this type of diagram is always going to be a fairly common thing just to put up. And whether it's a home-built system, a home-built connection of nodes, or it's a commercial one that you bought, or somewhere sort of in between where these are commercial nodes, but you can program them yourself for it. So just, again as an example, we have a light system, one by Philips Hue. It's managed to get its connection.
Hello.
Hello. Philips Hue lights, unfortunately I didn't bring any out with me for it. They have got many nodes. These are all individual lights. So really all it consists of, if I just quickly bring one up. the hue lights look just like a normal light bulb, and something that you can probably get hold of, well, you can easily get hold of very cheaply in some cases for a remote controlled light. They sell fairly cheap. You just you put the light in and you get a little controller to do it. The difference between these node type lights is that they can communicate with each other, and also you can write your own apps for them. So you might have multiple lights inside a home, and then we have a special little light box, if you like, that sits on the